Beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And we are underway in Southern California. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Right out of the gates, here's Smith. And his first pass is incomplete.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. That's complete into the hands of Myers. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now Geno. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Hampton, the 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. After the interception, here's Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bowers. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Setting up the screen, Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Over the middle and caught by McConkey. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Lad McConkey, 62 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out come the Raiders. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. Now Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Throwing now is Geno. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now it's Smith. Open man is Tucker. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 21, here's second down and 3. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Here's Smith. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Brock Bowers, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. That one complete to McConkey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. A shotgun snap for Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Herbert. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Now 3rd down and very long. Back to throw here, Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I don't know how many times Not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Play action. It's Smith. Looking deep downfield. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Smith. A throw left side, reeled in by the rookie wideout. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Smith. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how it can hurt you. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hands it off out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Back to throw, Smith. Touchdown! Brock Bowers with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Raiders are able to add on to that lead. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this 1st half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Carlson on for the PAT. It's good, and it's 21-10. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And able to get this out to the 25. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Herbert now. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Up the middle they go. It's Hampton, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. Open man here is Conklin. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And this is going to be a Raiders 1st down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. From the 50, it's Smith. And that one too wide and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 50 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's Herbert. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Herbert off of play action. Now this one finds McConkey. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. 15 yards there for number 15.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Out of the gun, Herbert. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, 27 yards. And the Chargers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Las Vegas's offense back out there ready to go. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 58 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Open man down the field. It's Bowers. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
What a game he's having. They've not been able to stop him or even slow him down. He's got 2 touchdowns already. That could have been a 3rd. He's got the secondary coach asking people for answers. Can you help me out? Because we are not slowing him down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
That's caught by Tucker. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's 2nd and 7. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Out of the gun, Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Smith. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Gino. Touchdown Raiders. Brock Bowers.
On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Raiders are able to stretch out their lead. And this is turning out to be something to monitor as this game goes along. That's now 3 touchdown catches for him here in this first half alone. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out come the Chargers. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there? A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. They run the counter. Hampton. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. Pass complete right side to Bowers. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
That's sacked by Khalil Mack. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack, his 2nd sack of the night. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trailed as we get back underway. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Short throw to Disley. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Justin Herbert looking to pass.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Lonnie Johnson picks it.
And the Raiders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. They'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Geno now to throw.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Geno. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Smith.
That is caught.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Raiders are able to extend their lead.
Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the second time of the ball game.
And, Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works. And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Herbert. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hampton.
And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now it's Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
And, Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
A quick throw there out to Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Third and 5. To the air again, Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And, I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Tyler Conklin. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Here's Smith. Very quick throw. He's got Myers.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Now it's Smith.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
94 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw, Smith. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one. No go on 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up, and on him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Smith. And that's to the left sideline.
And he won on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 2.
Up the middle they go. Hampton. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. It's brought in by Harris. Call it a gain of a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 9. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Herbert now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Herbert back to the air. Well, this is caught by Williams. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
Herbert. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hampton. Had a good move, but only able to work it to the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. They'll keep it on the ground. Hampton. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They'll try to run this one in. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Chargers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
What was once a really comfortable lead is not so comfortable anymore. Down to a 2-score game after they've seen a pair of touchdowns go against them on those last 2 drives.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to get off of autopilot right now, okay? Get back to what was working for them earlier. Understand that they still have a 2-score lead, so it's not dire, but at the same time, okay, guys, let's mash the gas. Let's get going again. Let's have some fun. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Throwing now is Geno.
That's to Bowers once again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
He can't get him down, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Flexing his muscle at the 30.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the LA offense ready for this next possession.
That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Over the middle, complete. That's Harris. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now this one finds McConkey.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Raiders are going to get it back here just past the 35. They got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down.
And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over on play.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
Herbert and the Chargers
down by 2 touchdowns. A little over 20 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down.
Herbert.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.